90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they worked so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
The Virginia Soybean Association is hard at work sharing the story of Virginia soybeans. The Children's Museum of Richmond at Short Pump is a great example. You can check out the new Soy More exhibit and learn more about the amazing bean.
Would you like to put your business in front of rural America and the ag community every week? We have sponsorship opportunities available that will do just that. Get in touch with us to hatch a new plan. An old barn in the Shenandoah Valley has been given a new life as a retail farm market promoting Virginia-grown products. This week we'll also explore the new Virginia Poultry Industry Center in our state's turkey capital. Those stories and more on this episode of Virginia Farming. I'm Jeff Ishii. A lot of people are talking turkey at this time of the year, but nobody talks turkey like the farm community in Rockingham County, Virginia, where there's a lot to crow about. There is a new facility in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia that highlights the Virginia poultry industry. The building is located at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds just outside of Harrisonburg and was dedicated in 2014 as the Virginia Poultry Industry Center. The project was a joint effort of local businesses, the Fair Association, and various segments of the agriculture industry. The goal of the project was to highlight and demonstrate to the public the economic and historic significance of the Virginia poultry industry. That's according to Hobie Bowen, president of the Virginia Poultry Federation.
Well, I think that the Fair Board came up with this project and reached out to the poultry industry, and we thought it was just a great opportunity to showcase the history of our industry as well as educate people about the modern poultry industry.
Numerous displays throughout the building highlight the colorful history of the poultry industry. A Hall of Fame includes key people who played an important role in the industry. There are also dozens of historic artifacts, calendars, and educational exhibits. Most of the artifacts were donated, while others are on long-term loan.
You have a whole variety of people that come through here, and you've got folks that grew up in this area that look at some of the historical artifacts and features that we have here, and they're just, they love it. They love it. And then, I get a lot of good feedback on the educational, the kiosks, the information about the various aspects of the modern poultry industry. And one good thing about all this is that it helps to debunk some of the urban myths about our industry and teach people about how we've really embraced technology, and we produce poultry and process poultry in a very efficient and effective way.
The Virginia Poultry Industry Center includes a children's play area to help kids learn more about where their food comes from. Also of interest is a mock-up of a modern poultry house. People say they had no idea that such high technology is being used to raise chickens. Brian Carpenter is president of the Rockingham County Fair Association and explains how the project got started.
The initial thought process, we realize that poultry is such a vital part of agriculture here in Rockingham County. We're very diverse, having dairy, grain, beef farmers, but poultry's king here, and we wanted some type of display to educate our public here, the locals, how important the poultry industry is to Rockingham County. And I tell you, when we got involved with the poultry integrators and some local donors, it just kind of snowballed really quick, and what we have behind us it's a true tribute to the poultry farmers and the poultry industry here in the county.
He describes what people see while attending the Rockingham County Fair or at other times of the year when the facility is open by appointment for tour groups.
With this exhibit here, they can see what goes on in a modern poultry house, Jeff. They can come in, it's set up with equipment, with displays, videos of local poultry farmers so that they can see how much they care about the land. It's so much more than just what goes on in that house. The poultry farmer is a true steward of the land, and we're just thankful that we have a way to educate the public about that.
Officials say the Virginia Poultry Industry Center is a testament to the thousands of people who work in the industry, raising, processing, and marketing tens of millions of Virginia-raised chickens and turkeys every year. Poultry production is the leading segment of Virginia agriculture and employs more than 15,000 people across the state and has a direct economic impact of nearly $7 billion per year. The Virginia Poultry Industry Center is open for visitation during the annual Rockingham County Fair in August or by appointment at other times of the year. Well, early November has been good for Virginia farmers bringing in soybeans. The latest crop progress report indicates field conditions have been good from the south side to the eastern shore and from the Shenandoah Valley to the northern neck. More than 40% of the Virginia soybean crop has now been harvested. Yields of beans are described by some farmers as highly variable. The average yield is expected to come in around 39 bushels per acre. Total production for Virginia is expected to be up about 9% from last year. Well, Amy Rocher takes us on an interesting field trip this week to an old barn in Weir's Cave, Virginia. It's a barn that's been given a new life, featuring Virginia-grown farm products. It's straight ahead on Ag Insights.
So today we're in Weir's Cave and we're visiting Valley Pike Farm Market, and I'm joined by Katie Yunt. Katie, thank you so much for having us out today.
Yeah, thanks for coming out to the market.
Now, you handle all things public. Anything having to do with the public you handle here,
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, but our owners are Dr. and Mrs.
David and Ann Gardner,
Okay.
yes. So they're both veterinarians by trade. They actually own the Maple Lane Veterinary Clinic right here in Weir's Cave. And so they have a passion for agriculture in this area, and they've called Weir's Cave home for a very long time. They raised 3 kids here. So yeah, it's a perfect area for them, and they love it.
So let's talk a little bit about this market. It's not a typical farmer's market, first of all.
Correct.
How long has it been here?
So we actually had our grand opening celebration September 3rd. So we are very, very new. We opened our doors on August 22nd for a soft opening, and it did not feel soft at all. It was welcome to the community, and everyone was way excited for us to be open and here. And it was really awesome that first night we had a band just show up and be here, and it was sort of this organic thing of people just wanted to be able to celebrate that they had somewhere to come, relax, and hang out with their family, which was really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, the market itself sits on the Gardner's farm, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So the market sits on the edge of a 250-acre farm, and so that land includes our burger and barbecue trucks, which are owned by Trevor Gardner, and so he runs those, which people love to stop and get lunch and hang out and bring it in here and sit on the deck and enjoy the views. It's also home to a lot of hay fields, which are great for the fact that there are horses back in the stables, and then the Maple Lane Veterinary Clinic is on that land, and the Gardner's home and barns and all of that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
So keeping it all in the family, keeping it all in the same area.
definitely.
I think the most intriguing part about this market is actually the building that we are in, this barn, and it has quite a history. Can you share that with our viewers, the history of the barn?
It does. It has sort of this incredible history of being a barn that was kind of on the verge of being forgotten and completely just no one was taking care of it, and maybe no one would remember that it was even there one day. And David and Ann felt really passionate about saving this barn and making sure that it wasn't just torn down or it didn't just disintegrate and was forgotten. And so what the Gardners did was they ended up purchasing the barn, and they hired a company out of Pennsylvania that will actually take the barn down piece by piece, label everything, transport it down the road just a little ways, and then they put it back up piece by piece. So this is the original barn. Any of the pieces of wood that you see in this building are refurbished and repurposed to be here. So yeah, we've got these lovely 200-year-old beams just hanging out with us, which is kind of awesome.
It's beautiful. So how long did that take?
That was over 16 months of a process. So just to make
Building the barn.
Oh, well, rebuilding the barn actually took a little bit less than that, but especially getting it to where it is right now is making sure that, okay, we want this great historic barn, but it still needs to have its modern amenities so that it doesn't get forgotten and it can last for generations to come. And so it was a really long process, but now we're here and it's open.
So what kinds of things can people expect to see and be able to buy when they come here?
Yeah, they can expect to find locally made or Virginia made ice cream, everything from truffles and candies to our Boar's Head Deli, which is right over the mountain in Charlottesville. Our coffee is also made by a local roaster, and so everything in here is meant to be locally produced and made. And whether it is right down the road in Dayton or Stanton, it can also be from Virginia Beach or Meadows of Dan in Virginia. It's kind of
Right.
all across the state.
Now, your sweet shop, you also have ice cream.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us a little bit about that and where it comes from.
So our ice cream is naturally Virginia made, and it's from Homestead Creamery, which it's a really awesome facility for people who haven't gotten a chance to actually experience that. And we carry up to 8 different kinds of their ice cream, so people can have everything from milkshakes made, which are fabulous, or they can have a sundae and mix it with just different items that we have within the market. So you can have a brownie put in there from a local bakery from Paris Cake Company and have a brownie sundae. And
Right.
People are able to kind of mold it, especially because we are just one facility that has all these different products and goods. People are really able to tailor what they would like.
Okay. Everything I see, you have bulk items from candy to flour to nuts.
Yeah.
And then I look down and I see beer on tap.
Yeah.
So you can actually come here and shop and get a glass of beer and sit out on the porch and relax while you're shopping. And
Oh, definitely. And we have a lot of people that it's just nice that they can purchase a bottle of wine and we give them a bucket of ice and a couple glasses and they go out on our back deck, which overlooks those 250 acres of farmland, and they can relax and just unwind after a day of work, or even just they want to have a fun evening with the one that they love. And so people are able to also taste different types of craft brews here, which of course if you go to the brewery itself is awesome because you get to experience that one type, but here you get to experience several different types of Virginia breweries at one location.
and you have so many Virginia beers down there. It
Yeah.
blew my mind. I wasn't even sure. I don't even know if I was aware there were that many. But you guys have an awful lot of Virginia brews
Yes.
for sale here, which is amazing. And wines too. A wonderful variety of wines.
Yeah, our goal is to really support those local crafters that are making a good that is remarkable, for one, that you can't really go experience anywhere else. So if you pop open a bottle of the Cross Keys or Bluestone Vineyard wine, it's really a signature wine for them. But being able to get them both here and experience that is really an asset that we're able to bring to the community, and I think people are really enjoying.
Sure, sure. I want to talk a little bit about the building because right now we're sitting upstairs in the loft and everything that's for sale is down below us.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's another level down in the very bottom, which for our farm folks, the barnyard.
Yeah.
And where all the cattle were at one time in
Yep.
this beautiful barn. What's going on downstairs?
Okay, so downstairs we're actually now calling that the granary, and that is our event venue. So that has been updated. The original barn would have been 8-foot ceilings, but the gardeners took the time to make them 12-foot ceilings for the new space, especially for an event venue to give it that height and not feel so crowded. So the space downstairs holds 250 people. We are able to provide different catering services through our upstairs if that's what people are looking for, or our food trucks can service them if that is something they're interested in. There's a tap room downstairs, which is its own bar area, and so our goal for that space is to not only let community members reserve it, but then also to have our own festivals and events that we can welcome the community to come to and enjoy.
It's such a beautiful venue, and it's just from the moment you walk in the door, honestly, from the moment you pull in the drive, it's welcoming. The barn is warm and it's charming, and then you walk in and it just continues to be warm and charming. Have you gotten a lot of positive feedback from your customers?
I will say the community members have been so supportive. Just the outpouring of love that they've had for the place. The barn sort of speaks for itself. There wasn't much that we had to do to this place to make people just curious and want to be in it. I think there's a natural urge to explore these old historic barns that we have in Virginia, and the fact that people get to regularly come in one that has been renovated, people are just really enjoying, and they're loving to explore the space, kind of see what's going on. I mean, we kept several of the tools that were just naturally in the space so people could see them, and they're like, okay, well, what was that for? What was this used for? And our staff is, it's very good that our staff was very quick at learning some of those facts so they could tell the community members.
That's good.
So yeah, this love that we've had from the community and the support and people who just come out and they're like, hey, we love the fact you're here. Like, we love the fact that we can come in the morning and get a cup of coffee that we know exactly where it comes from. And then they start learning people's names. Our staff is so good at kind of welcoming people in that early. I don't know how they do it. But then in the afternoon, they can come back and they can have dinner here. They can either grab a burger or barbecue, which if you haven't had the barbecue, it's phenomenal. And
Which is on a
rave
food
about
truck
it.
out in the parking lot. Right
Yes.
now there's 2 out there.
Yep.
So do you have plans to expand maybe for more food trucks, or what are your
Our
plans
hope
for the
is
future?
to really expand that area overall. So as of right now, a lot of people always notice the fact, well, you're a farm market, but you're not a farmer's market. And it's like, correct.
You don't have produce and fruit sitting around right now.
Correct. No, we don't. And so our goal with this space is to really support those farms throughout the Commonwealth that produce a good that's a canned good or a bulk food, something along those lines that we're able to keep on the shelves and bring to the community as sort of a product that they may not otherwise be able to get. But we have a lot of local farmers with amazing produce and a lot of different selections. And so our goal for the food truck area would also to have a farm fresh produce stand going forward. Now, of course, we don't have it right now, but that is a goal of ours going forward, that people can come by and know this was grown a mile away, and they're able to pick it up and know exactly where it came from, and that they're supporting our local farmers in the area.
So you have all the space for special events. What are some of the events you have planned?
One of our first big events is going to be our Makers Market Day, where we invite community artists and crafters to come and actually sell their goods in the granary downstairs. We had a lot of them stop by when we were first opening, asking if they were going to be able to display their goods. And as you can tell from our floor space, there wasn't really room for those type of products right now, as we're figuring out what sells really well. And so we wanted to still be able to support that community that we have in this area and really highlight the Shenandoah Valley has a lot of talented people. We have people that can make almost anything. So we intend to have those actually twice a year so that we can really allow them to have a solid place to sell their goods, sell their arts and crafts and the amazing products that they're able to make.
Well, Katie, thank you so much for having us out. It's been a treat, and it is honestly a beautiful place. I wish you guys all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much, Amy. And yeah, please feel free to come and check out the market and hang out anytime.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner. Flowers are gone and leaves are falling, but there's still some beautiful bark on a few varieties of trees. Mark Viette provides some examples as we go in the garden.
To create interest during the winter when all the leaves are gone, you really want to have something in a garden that brightens up the garden or shows off something different. And in this case, you can choose trees that have a specific exfoliating bark that is beautiful in the winter and even attractive during the summer months. This is one of the Chinese dogwoods, and behind me I have one of our native dogwoods. Really doesn't have what I call interesting bark, but this bark on this tree starts to shed, and you can even peel it off just like this. In every place where I'm peeling off this bark, it's lightly colored, and throughout the season some of these portions become really lightly colored. I'll show you some things later that sort of look like a giraffe's neck. Many of us are familiar with cherries. Cherries have beautiful bark, could be quite shiny when they're younger, but remember these words: tree lilac. Right in here we have planted a few of these easy to grow, yellow blooming trees. They bloom sometime in June, and it's known as the Japanese tree lilac. And look at the bark. You know, to me, it would seem that this is the cherry tree until I look up towards the top or see it blooming with yellow flowers just like your lilacs end of May or June. One of my top 5 favorite small trees with beautiful exfoliating bark is the crepe myrtle. And just imagine a giraffe's neck. And this is a small tree that does not get too large in diameter. And if you look, you can see the alternating colors, the cinnamon and the pale, almost whitish color. And you can actually see, and this is kind of neat, the way this bark just peels right off the tree. Here is some of the bark that still was at the base of the tree. In addition to this bark that peeled off this year, this new bark is really smooth. It's almost velvety. Just imagine you're somewhere in the tropics. So you might want to consider planting 3 or 4 or 5 of these in your garden. And the one thing you want to look for is the variety that is called Natchez. It's a pure white flower. Maybe not as pretty as the pinks and the reds, but it does have the best exfoliating bark. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Our Pearl of Wisdom this week comes from viewer Rod Jones in New Hope, Virginia, who asked the question, have you ever wondered why the person who invests all your money is called a broker? Very good question. Thank you, Rod, for that Pearl of Wisdom. Send in your own pearl through our website at virginiafarming.com or via social media at facebook.com/virginiafarmingtv. That does it for our show this week. Have a great week, everyone. I'm Jeff Ishii for Virginia Farming.
"90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.
Virginia soybean farmers are hard at work growing soybeans to produce products you use every day. Candles, soaps, even crayons can be made from soybeans. Remember, when you buy soy, you're helping to support American jobs, the economy, and our nation's energy security.
We all want healthy rivers and streams, but we can't do that without help from Virginia's landowners. Resource Management Plans, or RMPs, are part of a voluntary program that helps farmers get credit for cleaning up our waters. And once you have an RMP, You are exempt from any new water quality requirements for 9 years. The Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation has funds available to help you implement these plans. Contact the department today to learn more. Thank you.
This message sponsored by Virginia's agriculture community.
Would you like to put your business in front of rural America and the ag community every week? We have sponsorship opportunities available that will do just that. Contact us to find out how you can milk it for all it's worth.